Hello there.
What's up?
What's going on, my friend?
Man, just a good day. Man, I'm really excited to talk about this June wrap up just because it was a light month on the Lego side. And I know the Funko side had some drizzles of some good stuff, but man,
It did. It did surprisingly. Like we had so much come out the month before because it was May, right? So it's pretty
right.
much like Star Wars month. So they were throwing everything out there. So what's interesting is things that we heard rumors, we're getting confirmations, things that were pre-ordered are finally shipping, and
Right.
things that we hadn't heard of are getting announced. And then there's some rumors and leaks. So I say, without any further ado, let's get into this.
The wonderful
So,
sound of a seismic charge on your head.
love that. Love that. We're dropping knowledge. So let us get right into our. Well, let's start right before that. Did you pick up? I know you like to show if you picked up anything new, any new additions.
Man, I actually got a gift. I did show it on the live stream yesterday, but I'm going to show it again because it's an underrated little battle pack.
Nice. What you get?
All right. The homie Robert hooked me up with this bad boy I'm gonna show, but I am actually gonna build this. I know I showed it last month, but the Captain Rex or the Commander Cody
Oh, nice.
brickhead will be done here soon. I got it open and everything. And manual looking nice and clean as always. Weird lighting situation here, but yes, absolutely love these. And then Robert blessed me with the Snow Trooper Battle Pack.
Oh, very nice.
And I never picked this up, so this was very nice to throw in.
I
Super clean.
almost picked up a poly bag. I was going to be like, I just bought the TIE Interceptor, and I was going to pull out the $4.99 poly bag.
Dude, it's a lovely one. I've overlooked it, every time I'm at Target, but I'll pick it up here soon just because it's a must have. It looks good.
Oh yeah, I end up picking up. I did pick up something. I didn't pick up any Lego. I tried to resist, but I did pick up a little something from. And I showed this to Chris yesterday on our show on the Star Wars podcast. But I did pick up this bad boy. I
Oh
saw in
yeah.
the store. And this is a great looking pop. I mean, I just really, really like this one. So I have a On the Hunt coming out this in the next week or so. I don't know if I scheduled it for this week or next, but I have that filmed. Another thing that when we last talked last month, I was not able to find
Yes.
the Oreos. So
I know
I
that
got
was so
some.
weird when you said you couldn't find them. I'm like, man, how? Like this is crazy.
Well, it was weird. I went to like Target, Walmart, like everywhere. I couldn't find. Now I'm seeing them by the plethora. So I must have just been on that cusp of like waiting to see. Maybe someone got the first batch and they were gone. But what was really cool is Christopher from um Seriously Star Wars and my co-host on the Star Wars podcast. He did a video and we both were talking about how you know if you have the light or dark side. Do you know how
yeah,
that is?
the A and B.
Yes, the A and B on there. So I know I have dark side. So I'll be doing a special little video where I'm going to be pulling them and seeing if I have a dark side image of a Funko Pop to match whatever
Nice.
cookie I pull. So that'll be kind of fun, a little different, a little,
Yeah.
pop photography kind of spin to it, to keep in my niche.
There,
But
yes.
yeah, so that's what I picked up. I do have two boxes that I was even told Christopher, I haven't even unpacked them yet. Today I was running around, as you know, with family and stuff earlier today,
Mhm.
visiting from Pennsylvania. But I did get a box. My mother and my sister happened to go to Disney. My mom had like a business trip, and my sister took my niece, and they kind of, while she was doing that, they went to Disney. So my mom
Nice.
was working.
Lucky.
They went to Disney, and then they got to do like a day or two together before and after the business trip kind of thing. So they end up going to Galaxy's Edge, and I think I have both a new Jedi and a new Sith holocron.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I'm pretty pumped to open up because I think, I don't know if the old ones it is, but I think the new ones, if you stack them together, they do something different. I don't know. So I'm gonna have to check that out.
Hell yeah.
Um, in my box from Star Wars Sith showed, where I purchased a couple, 2 or 3 Funko Pops from him, and then I won one from Ricky at Pop the Bounty Collector.
Nice.
So I said, hey, listen, to save you guys shipping, just have Ricky meet you and just put it in the same box. Like, why, pay 2 different shipping? Just dump it all in one. So that finally came. So I have to open up those this week. But I know probably tonight, tomorrow, I'll probably have some time to it. But I've been a little behind, trying not to be as burnt out, and not even from content creating. It's from the full time, the W-2 form job, right? That
Right.
you're in your tail off so much that you're burned out. That doesn't leave you with any juice left to be creative. And I've
Oh,
had some crunches just to get to this vacation that I'm on right now. So I got some time to kick back, relax.
good.
Spend some time. My sister's here until I think Wednesday, and then they're going to continue from like the Mass Rhode Island border. They're right over in Mass now. They're going to continue to a different campsite up in Acadia National Park. They're going to be up there for like 4th of July. So
Oh, nice.
it's been kind of hectic just trying to get to this to Friday. It was like, do or die. Like, I got to do this. It's crazy. So I'm finally happy to be on vacation. We have an exciting show today.
Yes.
Very, very excited for today. But before we continue, we might have some people in the chat. So let's see, we got Seriously Star Wars here. Christopher. Hey, gentlemen. Hey, Christopher. Thanks for showing up today. JT
What's
Lovecraft.
up?
What's up? He's the only guy that I'd fear more than Chimere with a lightsaber at this point, because that dude is got skills to pay the bills. That Grogu with the frog is amazing. Yep, it is. I cannot wait. Like, I already have photoshopped a backdrop just for this prior to even going out to go pick them up, Brandon. That's how I was so excited when someone said, "Oh, I saw that." It just was getting put on the shelf at Box Lunch today. I'm like, really? And he called me. He's like, yeah, dude. So I went like immediately the next day, picked it up. But knowing that night it's there, I was like, oh, let's start working on the image. So,
Man, that's a
yeah.
good one too, because that just like that ends season 3. That's like that's the moment right there. So yeah, I love all the Grogu's. I feel like they kind of overuse some of the
Hey,
looks of them, but I mean, pretty tight.
Tony from Star Wars Sith was even with us. Thank you, Tony, for coming. Brandon
What's
putting out
up?
there, what's good, everyone. So
What's
yeah, man,
good?
it's nice just to have some time, and we have like, again, this is like a monthly wrap up, so we have a lot of different pieces to cover today, and let's start it off with let's start it off with our rumors and leaks. So in our rumors and leaks, I'll let you start it off, Brandon.
Let's do it. Yeah, look at this little bad boy right here. Okay. Well, he's not so little, to be fair. This is supposedly going to set up with the buildable R2D2 that we got last month or in March. So this is going to, pair up well.
Is
A
he going
lot
to be
of
bigger than
Rex.
the Chewbacca one then?
It should be around the same size.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a good scale. Next to R2D2, I do have the UCS R2D2. I'm not going to pick up the new one just because I think the UCS one just is a better version.
Yeah.
But this here, I noticed a lot of Lego fans were like, okay, the eyes, you threw me off. But as it ages, and once this image got a little more clear, I mean, it's C3PO. I mean, you know who it is. It looks good. But besides the fact of the eyes, I mean, look at the head. Look how the neck is, or the arms even, like even the like support beam that runs from like
There's
the
little
bicep
shorts.
to the
Yeah.
forearm. Like you get all of that here in a Lego. And sometimes if you know Lego pieces, sometimes pieces don't really look like they can actually create the actual image of C3PO. So like this is really cool. I like it. I love the silver leg. It's a good touch. It's very OG. So yeah, this is a good set. And it's not on the Lego website yet, so this is kind of like a really good spot for a rumor and leak. But I mean, it is coming, but it should be any day now.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, that is really just dope
It's
looking.
it's clean. I like it.
And is that it's coming with a minifig as well as that plaque?
Yes, and a lot of there's been some more gripes with that as well because this is the it's a reused C3PO minifig, but I mean, how more detailed can you
How
get?
many
And
different C3POs you gonna get? You know,
yeah, so
silver leg,
this
red arm, Sith eyes. That's the.
yeah.
I think that's really all you got going, right? So
Yeah, for sure.
then next you had a big one. This was a
Man,
big leak.
this this right here, this is the first even remotely close image to this year's Jabba sail barge. This set right here is going to be one that I am grabbing. I will have a fresh, almost probably 1 month old at this time, and it's going to be crazy to spend $550 right away. And it just has to happen. This is
The
one of
baby
my
will sleep in
favorite.
Jabba's sail barge. We don't need a
Yeah.
crib.
Okay, see, and there's even a Max Rebo or a Salacious Crumb minifig that I can throw right next to him. He'll be enjoying it just as much as I would. But
That's gonna be cool. So I wonder, have they done a Max Rebo minifig before in the past? I don't think they did.
yeah, they have. It came with the OG sail barge, and I believe it's from 15 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean,
Okay.
it's been a while. Um, but yeah, this right here, the second image to the right, you can see Max Rebo playing his little piano. So this is a good touch. It's like the Max Rebo minifigure is confirmed, and then on the left here, and then also shout out to Carter Bricks, and then Exa Bricks Lego Go. I've seen a lot of Extra Bricks' leaks on TikTok, especially. So shout out to them, and then Carter Bricks for sure. But UCS Jabba Sail Barge, October 1st, 3,942 pieces. And the first rumor, it was actually only supposed to be 3,100 pieces. And this one up the scale. So you know it's going to be a lot bigger in size. And
Wow. Very detailed, I'm sure.
oh,
Very.
man. Supposedly there are more than 2 openings to the sail barge as well. So definitely going to be able to fit in the big Jabba minifig. Well, it's not. He's not so much of a minifig. He's kind of like
Minifig.
a big. He's like a
It's like
big
a full
fig.
size vehicle.
Yeah. And yeah, basically. So that's going to be cool there. And notice how it's not called Slave Leia; it's Hut Slayer Leia.
I've
So we will
heard
get
that name change, you know.
yes.
Yep.
We will get the new rendition of that, so that'll be cool. Max Rebo, love him.
And I
Salacious
believe
B.
there's
Crumb.
something else that comes with this too, correct?
Oh yeah, go ahead and slap that on. This is the gift with purchase. 145 pieces. Luke's lightsaber, and it's the one from Return of the Jedi. So obviously we had the anniversary last year, and a lot of the Funkos, those were awesome, especially with the anniversary date of that. But this right here, this was a set that was probably supposed to come out last year in October, but we got the UCS Venator instead. So now getting this now, this is going to be a huge, like you said before we came on, this is probably going to be a huge seller in getting Jabba Sail Barge.
If people are buying the Vetinator for the minifig that came with that, they're definitely going to be buying the Jabba sail barge to get this
Yeah.
gift for purchase, because I think they did not sell like one of the ones from Phantom Menace, like one of those Naboo tanks, something like they did not sell that separately. You had to get a gift with purchase on that Star Wars day. I don't recall what packet, what I don't know, it was a dollar amount you had to hit, or you had to
Yeah.
buy certain sets, but
140.
that would okay, that what it was, because it wasn't just sold. It wasn't like a regular generic price. It was only came with that. So
Yeah. But yeah,
very
that's going to be nice. I know there is Luke's lightsaber that we've had before, and it was the Skywalker lightsaber that's been passed down, and I believe Yoda's. So this will be the third buildable lightsaber, and it also comes with a stand as well.
that's gonna be take my money.
Yeah,
Right? Come on.
pull out the Visa.
Yep, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm debating. I backed the Ghost, I backed the Razor Crest. I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna back the Cantina, because I'd like to have it for diorama
Mm,
purposes and for
yes.
photographing. And again, doing Funko, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Do I get it, or do I get like one or two pieces that I just want 3D printer from somebody else and just pay whatever? But then I almost feel that for the price to pay to get something 3D printed, painted, weathered, I might as well spend that money and get the whole damn cantina. I don't know. I'm
Oh,
torn on it.
absolutely.
I'm torn on that because I don't really collect vintage, but I have the two vehicles that are vintage collection coming. So, well, I have Razor Crest here, but when the Ghost comes, and that's gonna be a tough one to sneak by the wife. That's not like something I could hide behind the back and nothing to see here. Move along. Oh
Mhm.
no, that's gonna be massive,
That's a
massive.
good one.
So I'm excited for that, and I've got a project I got to work on to build a display because I want to take an old Sony TV stand and convert it to a display. One on the top level where the TV used to sit. I want to do like a sand kind of dunes. Maybe put some of the evaporator tower things.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
the moisture farming things.
Yeah.
Might like one or two out there, and then on the inside the glass, I'm thinking of trying to make that like a hanger. This way, I could
Oh,
swap out like if I want to put the Razor Crest on the top, and I could swap out the Ghost. So I don't know. It's going to be in a daunting little project, but it's something I wouldn't mind doing. I just got to find the time. Even on this
yeah.
vacation, look, I feel like every minute's accounted for, and it doesn't feel like a vacation. But we shall see. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude, in some cool rumors that we have for Funko, we got this. Now, the fact that we've got like leaks, stuff like that, it's hard to say it's a leak rumor, but it hasn't been officially announced yet from Funko. But we're getting a Darth Vader 288 bronze, which is an Amazon exclusive. Um, I do think it looks pretty cool. Um,
The box.
Yeah, the box looks dope, but I mean, just look at it out of box. Very cool looking. I love the finish. The only thing I'm not enjoying, the only thing is that I have this exact sculpt without the
Mm,
bronze finish. It's got the lightning and everything. It looks great. I don't know if I was going to bronze a Vader, I wouldn't bronze the moment where he's getting defeated necessarily.
for sure.
I would have picked a different moment to bronze if I was doing it. That's just me personally. I love the finish. I love the look of it. I just don't know if I'm going to pick this one up, but it's cool.
I think I'll pick it up. I really like the box. Plus the like bronze looks a little more copper to me, but it
Yeah,
also makes it look heavy. Like this looks like it weighs like 10 pounds.
yeah. It looks like almost like a statue, like an
Right.
award, almost like a major award.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I heard that we might see a Palpatine like this too. There's some rumors that we covered on the Star Wars podcast that mentioned this. So kind of
Nice.
curious. I'm curious to see what they come up with. But then this one,
Man.
this is fire. Now,
Woo.
I can't quite tell. Obviously, the image that's been leaked isn't a good one. And this is the only image I could find anywhere out there on this particular Darth Vader number 710, which is going to be a San Diego Comic-Con 2024 exclusive. Now, what's really cool is if you look at the box art and you kind of can see in the packaging, it looks like it's red kind of lighting up from the bottom, the way they have that effect. Now, I'm
Yes.
not sure if it's a chrome and they've kind of got like a reddish black chrome and it just kind of has a gradient effect to it that does that. I don't know. But if you look closely in the box, you can see it's got like kind of like smoke or something at the bottom, which gives me the feeling that this Darth Vader is when we see him in Rogue One coming through that door. It has that same look feel to me.
Yes.
So I'm kind of curious. That's what I think it is. It's that moment. So this to me is 100% needs to have. Like that looks fire. And I'm not
Yes.
even a chrome collector. So if it is like a reddish to black chrome kind of situation or whatever, I'm gonna end up picking this one up because it looks dope. I really like this one. Looks really
Yeah.
cool.
Shout out to Funko James. He dropped a video on TikTok and he was talking about how that's the glowing effect from being the hallway scene from Rogue One, and I would have never thought of that. I kind of thought it was just kind of like a two-tone, like black and red Vader, but when you kind of look at the eye, like on the box art version of the Funko,
You're
you can
getting that
see the
low to high.
detail.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah, and
I am liking this. It looks really, really slick.
yeah,
The
and
next one,
the way
oh,
we were
go on.
talking about the 2024 convention or the summer convention sticker pops, like the Cassian Andor, the Purge Trooper, the Kersantin from a couple of years ago, like all of these green and yellow stickers, I always have to have them. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like a rendition now. Like I just have to have them.
Yeah, B2 Emo, I think, was one as well.
Yes, yes.
I think he was one as well. Yeah, you
Walmart
know what? I
exclusive too, I
always
believe.
enjoy the San Diego Comic Con exclusive and the New York Comic Con exclusive. They always seem to have one that you just need. Like last year's the New York one was that Darth Maul with the metal talon like legs.
Mm, yep.
Dope, dope. Love
Yeah,
that figure.
that's a
Love that
baddie.
pop. Yeah, I'm always excited when they come out with something. Now
Mm,
this one, I was like, what? I don't know, like so I kind of feel bad for the people that spent gobs of money trying to get that was it 2018 celebration exclusive Thrawn, because that was up to like almost a grand, if not at a grand. It was close, definitely holding its market share at like 900 for a while. And I think with the release of the two Thrawns that we've had, the Target exclusive, and then the other one was just a kind of common with him holding the blaster from an Ahsoka wave, actually,
mm-hmm.
where the Target exclusive was more like a Rebels kind of one-off, which was kind of interesting. But this is definitely, you can see it's got that Ahsoka artwork and everything on the box, so definitely is fitting into that. But I love the hands kind of fingers and hands crossed in the front. Looks great. Love
That's
it.
so cold.
Yeah. Now it also seems like it has the same head sculpt as the one with the blaster, where he's holding the
Yeah,
blaster up, which I still like that Target exclusive and the 2018 sculpt better, because
yeah,
when you see them, there's more furrow in the brow and the cheekbones are a lot more chiseled out in that sculpt, where this is just the normal kind of rounded face. But I end up buying a second one of those Target exclusive so I can head swap them for images if I need without having to worry about the one and mess them up. So I was like,
right.
that's how I was able to do my head swap, where I put that head onto Grand Moff Tarkin and then did a little Photoshop
Yes.
on his rank and made that look like it was from Tales of the Empire Thrawn.
Yeah, that was
So
nice.
that was fun to do. So I'm definitely gonna have to get this one. So these are two con exclusive. I'd imagine they're gonna be a shared exclusive too. I don't think they're just there at the con, which is great, because again, I think that's one thing that I like when Funko does those shared exclusives, because if you can't make the con, at least you can still get it tangible, which
Right.
is always nice. What do we got next? All right, so now we got some stuff that is kind of more arriving in the stores and shops and stuff like that. And you've got this thing here with the Legos. This
Man.
is interesting.
So mechs, that's kind of like a huge Marvel DC thing in the Lego universe. But then last year we got some of the Star Wars edition. So like there's the Boba Fett, the Darth Vader, and the Stormtrooper. I was able to get all those for Christmas. So they're nice little additions to the collection. But this Luke Skywalker here, it's kind of funny. I'm probably not gonna get this one unless if it was gifted to me, 100%. But I don't know if I'm gonna go out and grab this, just because I think they should have just kept it like the orange pilot suit instead of making him like half X-wing, half minifig, half big guy with a lightsaber. I think it's just kind of funny, but they're also targeted for kids. I mean, no big deal. But for me, I'll have to pass on it. But the idea is kind of cool. But yeah.
Oh, hey, we got that rebuild the galaxy, so if you're a young kid playing, it's going to fit right in there, right? It'll fit right there in
Yeah.
that playability.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, that one's it's a good little start to the June wave, but this is kind of where it starts heating up a little bit. And I did send these kind of to you in an order from kind of like really just like towards the bottom, but then it just goes up. So right here, the next step we got is the Ambush on Mandalore Battle Pack, set number 75373, 109 pieces. this is awesome. We finally get a new play feature right here where you can kind of see the commando Mandalorian trooper here, kind of swayed off, and there's like a curved Technic piece that kind of goes right into the holster there, and it kind of makes it look like they're
He's
swooping
flying.
effect. Yeah, so that's
That's
really cool.
cool. That is
And
cool.
I believe Costco Reeves and Axe Woves were supposed to be the two minifigs here, but they kind of just made them generic Night Owl troopers. So I mean, this is still cool. The color actually looks great compared to the show.
Mm.
But those Mandalorian troopers right there, like the knockoff kind of like Beskar stormtroopers, look absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I like the look of those minifigs.
Yeah, those are
I don't think
really
those
nice.
minifigs are coming with anything else but this, right?
Yeah, they should just be stuck with this set here, if I'm correct. I don't think they're going anywhere else. And then yeah, here's some
Lots of
continued pictures
playability
here.
to this.
Yeah,
Lots.
this is one of the better battle packs in my opinion, because like the 332nd clone battle pack, all of Ahsoka's trooper, those were really cool. I loved just simply adding the troopers to the like little minifig stand, but like this right here for a battle pack, it really does have some playability. You know, right here the left picture, you can show you can swoop the um, like any jetpack user in any direction. So that looks
Mhm.
really cool. And then you kind of have like a duck and cover on the right picture, kind of using the like mini blasters there. And then, of course, you can reverse to the other side and still use that little swoopable piece. And I could only imagine kind of just tilting that piece left and right, seeing the,
This would be a cool, like, you know, this is the kind of thing as a kid you wouldn't even mind at a birthday or holiday getting two
oh,
of
yeah.
these. It's just you get more figs, you get more action. You can pair these together. It looks real. I really like this set. This is
Yeah.
and
This is
it's
a good
pretty
one.
cheap. It's not like super expensive either, so it's not bad. You're getting 4 minifigs and a little kind of mini diorama with it. I like it.
Yeah. Little, I believe it's 1999 as well.
Come on, come
Yeah.
on. You're gonna spend $5 on a poly bag, right? This is getting a lot more of that. So
Yeah. And
this
then
one, I've seen this. I've seen
mm,
someone have this do a little review. Someone that had early access to this. This is really cool. I really like this one.
yeah. This right here, $39.99, $40 set, this is really good. You get that Moff Gideon minifig with his Beskar kind of dark trooper upgrade. Man, it looks good. And then we get the first wave of Praetorian guards from the Mandoverse. So we can kind of see the lineage from how they start here until they end up in the sequels. And then the Paz Vizsla. I wasn't a huge fan of his character at the beginning. I thought he's kind of a tool, but as he goes on and of course meets his demise here, spoiler warning if you haven't seen Mando season 3, he doesn't make it, and this is kind of the scene that represents it. But
It's
I feel
that
like
moment. This is that moment.
yeah, and just that door behind the Paz Vizsla on the right kind of just shows
It shuts, right?
yeah, it opens and closes, so that's really cool.
That is
But
really neat.
I feel like instead of throwing in a third Praetorian Guard, they wanted to spice it up and throw in another minifig. And I think that was this was the perfect time to throw in the Moff Gideon set, because if we were to get another set with him in it, it would have to come with Grogu, another Mandalorian, for Christ's sake. Like, getting how many Mando minifigs do we have? There's like 4 different ones. There's a Christmas edition. So, I mean, reused Mando. I mean, Din Djarin's cool, but we don't need any more figs. Um, but then I believe there is a continued side to this, and you can really see the upfront picture of the minifigs. They look really good. The heavy blaster looks good for Paz Vizsla, and then
Oh yeah.
that door opening and closing right there, just a little switch on the back, makes it
Yeah,
very
I like that
minimal
little
to see.
mechanism there on the left. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and the blaster actually fires the little I didn't realize that until I'm looking at it now. That's
Oh
cool.
yeah, yep. Up top, they got some stud
Yeah, that
loaded
little blaster
shooters.
cannon. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool. And
yeah.
then what this one? I think this one goes for like $30 or something, right? This isn't too bad either.
40.
Okay. Yeah. getting
Yeah,
there, but I like it. You're
not
getting
bad.
4 minifigs plus all this playability. I do like that. Like that
I've
a
also
lot.
seen some people grab 2 of the sets, which I mean that's $80 right out the gate, but they kind of put the doors together to make 2 openings, which I don't know if in season 3 there was 2 openings, but I believe there was just the one, and then it was kind of like cliffed off to the side. So I mean
Yeah, I
that's
thought
just
it was
for
just a one
yeah.
because they had to blast through a wall when they shut it to get out to escape anyway. So I would probably do this and the $20 one we just looked at, and put these two together because I mean they're kind of the same place.
Yep,
So I
just
think
different time.
they'd work together nicely, if you're kind of pairing them as a dio, putting both sets together, that would look pretty dope.
Yeah, definitely a fire set. Then man, this last one, whew, this right here, this is probably the besides getting my Gar Saxon Funko for $12 on eBay, this right here is probably the best $12 I've spent in the collection. Just because this is a $650 minifig right here, and you get it for $12 plus another
Now,
Y-wing
let me ask,
microfighter.
are Lego fans getting upset about that? They got to be a little bit frustrated, or not. I don't know. I just always found the minifig how they can price them to go so crazy, and if they weren't really that rare in the first place. But I don't know. For $12, this is a no brainer. Pick it up. You get the great minifig. You get a great little mini a microfighter of the Y wing. Come on.
Yes, and it looks like pictures, they look really good, but in person, amazing. But I mean, there's really not too much to talk about with this one. It's just the fact that it's Captain Rex and we're actually getting him in a cheaper form. That's why earlier when I showed my Commander Cody Brickhead, I accidentally said Captain Rex because I was thinking about this set because I know this is the highlight of June. Like when I think of the June drop this year, it's this. But yeah, stud loaded shooters once again, and then just I mean the dual wield Captain Rex just looking real good in that bottom
I
left.
really like this image you chose to put in the slide because I think it really shows off more of that Y wing because you don't see as much of this nice detail when you see it from the front, but that looks really nice.
Man, it's a
Really
banger.
nice. And you can't go wrong with that Rex. Look at him. He looks dope.
Yes, beautiful. But yeah, man, that's a big this is a big June wave right here, and just to cap it off with that Rex, that was something to be surprised. But with microfighters, I did want to add there is a rumor that we're going to get a Mandalorian starship next year, and it's going to come with Bo-Katan.
What?
So that could be pretty crazy.
That would be pretty interesting. I would say for sure. For sure. Man.
Show. Yeah.
So let's see. Let's go on to some pre-order stuff. No, not that.
Pre-orders arriving right now.
Yeah, so this I think is something that we had talked about last month, and I was blown away because I didn't realize that this was actually coming. I've heard about this. It just seemed like it was like a whisper, a legend. I feel like like Luke Skywalker, he was real. I thought he was just a myth. Like this Dark Falcon, Darth Jar Jar, I thought was a myth. Now this is dope. This is coming to realization.
Yes, this is a very awesome one because this will be coming out. This is up on the Lego website now. Everyone can go see all of the official images, and this right here actually is an official image. Um, so from the looks of it, just a quick rundown. I mean, you're getting a same version of the Rise of Skywalker Millennium Falcon. I do have the original one on my shelf, but this one I could only imagine putting this right next to each other. It is $180, but just that it's the Dark Falcon. Like this is a really cool concept. And then you also get the Beach Luke because everything is opposite. We get the dark Ray, which is an awesome little look. I thought if Ray was to go to the dark side and took on that realm of being a Palpatine, that would have been a really cool look with that drop down lightsaber. And we have, I believe his name is Darth Dev. He will be kind of a dark side character, I believe, that we get in the Rebuild the Galaxy. Jedi Vader. And then C-3PO with the Sith eyes and the black arm. He is actually a bounty hunter in this Rebuild the Galaxy. So imagine C-3PO trying to, take you in for some cash. But Darth Jar Jar, that was our first pilot episode for this. That was almost the basis. And wow,
100%. Yeah.
finally seeing him looks great.
Yeah. That is Misa gonna hurt you. I'm so excited. So excited. That's cool. That's a really cool set, man. Going into Funko, we have some things that are pre-ordered. Now, what was great is these were first leaked that I saw on Instagram and other places, and I hadn't seen anything official. But then I said it's got to be kind of official because eventually, like 3-4 days later, it was announced. But by the time it was announced by Funko, I already put my pre-orders in with Amazon on these.
Nice.
So it's very frustrating, I think, sometimes when you see something and yet you have a link and it hasn't been confirmed by like Lego or Funko itself, but yet there's a link and you can start pre-order. You know what I mean? Like, come on, just announce it. But we do have an OSHA, which I think a lot of fans are kind of like, great, I'd love to have an OSHA, but we really didn't know about OSHA until like the day before because of a leak. We all knew about May.
Right.
So to be May, all the trailers May, no OSHA. Then right before the first episode, you hear something about OSHA and you realize, oh, there's twins, kind of spoiling the premise of the show a little bit. But not to have a Funko Pop of May, I just thought that was an odd choice. I don't know what your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I thought this was really cool. Especially like with the day before leak, I was kind of like, oh, okay. Here's the twin. We actually are getting twins. So yeah, and I was like, well, what is she dressed like? What is she? Is she a smuggler kind of given, I don't know, just looked
Yeah, I
different.
like the vibe. It kind of has that like X-Wing kind of piloty thing. You got that little white vest, but it's a teal. She's got Pip in her hand, which I think that alone, that's a really cool like little feature to have Pip with her. I like that a lot. I think that looks pretty cool.
Also, too, what's really cool is if you if you go to Google and type in Star Wars The Acolyte Funko Pop, you guys actually pop up as the first few actual links is all towards the Popcast. So I thought that was really cool. I actually saw that earlier yesterday morning when I was at work. I was trying to look up to see if I could get a pre-order in for these, and of course you guys pop up, which is, I think that's just crazy. Like, that's tight.
That is cool. I'm always excited when it happens, because for me, we do it and we enjoy doing it. Between Christopher, myself, and Lex, it's a fun little banter.
Oh yeah.
And it's really, but we look forward to it as much as I look forward to us doing our monthly thing. I really miss if I miss a week or one of us can't be there. I miss that. So it's always fun when the three of us could always, be on. And we've been really enjoying what we've been seeing here for these Funko sculpts lately. Like we got Chimere, right? Now look at this dude. He just looks awesome. Playing into that, like, oh, I'm just an innocent little person, hands full, like super innocent by the Funko Pop sculpt. And now after we've seen episode 5 and we get to reveal who Chimere is, the stranger, or the Sith, or possible rumor, maybe First Knight of Ren, maybe Ren himself. I have no idea. But all rumors aside, it leads to leaving this Funko Pop so perfectly sculpted for what the character is playing with this portion of his character, I should say,
right,
or side of his character or personality of that character. just really cool. And I almost skipped putting this on my pre-order list. I was like, I'll just pick up in store. And I went back and I said, you know what? Before I place it, let me put them on there. Because I really had a suspicion right from day one. I mean, I thought they kind of really led the audience there, but I wasn't sure if it was to mislead us, misguide us. But I kind of knew he was going to be that. And I still think like a lot of other people are rumoring and thinking and speculating that he's obviously an apprentice to a master. That I for sure believe, because when he gave that speech to Soul in that episode 5, spoilers, he was, you as a Jedi might call me a Sith. What do you want? I want freedom. I want a student. I want to have an acolyte. He wants. So I feel that he can't have what. If you're able to do whatever, why can't you? Because you've got someone above you saying you can't possibly, and it ain't just a Jedi. So I have a feeling there at some point, if not the end of this season, we get a little snippet, kind of Easter egg reveal that there's someone looming in the background to be that guy, or it'll be next season possibly.
Yep. Yeah, that's fire.
Next we got Yord, which
Yord.
I did like Yord.
Yeah, I'm on the Yord train. The first, like I was telling Bailey yesterday, the first thing that really got me to like Yord was just the simple fact of a yellow lightsaber. I was like, oh, dude, yes, let's go. Finally, a yellow lightsaber wielder. But then everyone started hating my boy Yord, and now I think he's a. Oh my God!
I've been wielding this for a while, my friend.
Patrick is Yord.
I've been wielding a yellow lightsaber now for 2 years. 2 years waiting. Even my little logo on the podcast has the yellow lightsaber.
It's yellow lightsaber fire.
I've been wanting that for a long time. Ever since I saw the what was it? The Old Republic, when they had the 2 twins.
Yes.
And they had the yellow dude. I was that one guy with the mask, scarred, half his face got scarred. Love that character. So for me, that's what was my inspiration. Always want yellow. And when I went to Galaxy Edge and my Savis, I could not get back to my place in time, change, because we did the experience of getting your portraits done on the Halcyon,
right,
on the Star Cruiser. And so we literally went from running our asses off, getting back in the shovel, quickly trying to at least, wash ourselves enough that we can, go to our picture and not look like a sweaty mess, which was pretty difficult to do. Down in Florida, running around like we were. So yeah, we literally came from our shortly after our Savis back to get our portraits, and it was like I didn't even have time to change the crystal in my lightsaber. So all my portraits that I did were with a blue, but I had the yellow. I already had the crystal ready to go. So
nice. Hell yeah.
So I really liked Yord. I honestly thought we'd get more from him, meaning we'd get an arc where he was very by the book and maybe he learns a valuable lesson. Like not everything has to be by the letter, and there's room for interpretation. And sometimes the situation is going to dictate that, Yord, and I thought we might get more of that, like that learn lesson from him, but nope. Chimera was snapping necks and cashing large checks. So Yord became Yord became a deposit mat. So, and not only that, but when he deposited him, he just tossed him like a saggy bag of birdseed, man. That was brutal.
Yeah. There's actually leaked yesterday that Yord is from Alderaan.
Is he really?
That's what one of the writers said officially.
Oh, J Riz is here. Hey, what's going on? Thank you. Yo, Patrick, what's up, bro? What's going on, J Riz? Now, J Riz, did you see his Stranger?
I watched his episode with Tony, and I was like, man, this dude, he's got some stuff going on. But yes, I did see the Stranger posted on a lot of stories on Instagram, and that
his concepts are by far some of the best. So thank you, J Riz, for coming and supporting us today. He's out there giving a little shout out to Chris and Tony, saying what's up, guys. He sees you guys out there. But yeah, dude, when I saw his concept, I'm like, again, you can see it's not that hard to borrow pieces and other pieces of sculpts to come up with something. How did we not get that guy as one of the first ones in the wave? Like, come on. Like, I get if you're trying to hide something or whatnot, but that you should have had May first OSHA in the second wave with Pip, and then you release the Stranger in that second wave. Honestly, if they're announcing the helmets that they, the Black Series helmet, they should have dropped the Funko Pop the next day too, or
Yeah.
announced it at least. Again, I don't know. And I will say this: Funko in Everett, Washington. I am ready, willing, and ready to ascend to the helm to work with you to be a full-fledged member of the Funko team, shooting Funko, promoting Funko. I am a Star Wars Funko evangelist, so if you'd like to send me some Funko Pops ahead of time to show them off, do some reviews, love that. But if you also want to kind of talk about when the best time to drop for hype and for sales, right after that episode was that perfect timing because people were going nuts.
Oh yeah, that's selling out in minutes.
Yes. We got a nice Jedi Master Soul, and that looks really dope. Like that looks really clean. Really clean. And something I didn't notice, that Jedi Lex had pointed out. Did you notice they have black gloves in those?
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about that, and I was like,
I did not
yeah,
notice
they
that.
do.
And so look, even Yord.
Yeah.
I did not notice that until once I saw I had to go back and look at the episode, and sure enough,
Mm-hmm.
they've got black gloves with these. I guess they're their visiting robes, daily robes, mission robes. We were calling them maybe your mission robes as opposed to your white knight robes.
Right.
But really cool, really
Yeah.
cool.
Also, too, I wonder, like Yord Fandar, like that's, he has his name, obviously Soul. We don't know his last name, but the making it Jedi Master Soul, like I feel like there's a lot of steps there, and I wonder if maybe that has anything to do with his past that we're going to see here soon.
It's funny you should say that because you know what I was wondering. If you
'Cause it just
notice,
seems extra.
everyone so far seems to have a first and last name, with the exception of the two, right? Because we know May and OSHA have the same last name,
Right.
Soul doesn't have his, and neither does Chimere.
Yeah.
So my thought is when they just met in the forest on that planet of where Kanaka was, and he made that comment, I sense something familiar. Oh, you don't recognize me? And I sense something familiar. I'm wondering the reason he doesn't recognize him is Soul, the older brother at age 4, taken away, and Chimere's like brother at age 2, watching his brother get taken away. Or is there something that kind of, I almost was thinking, is it a Marvel thing? Kind of like, who's the one? Jean Grey. She's she's got so much power that they had to kind of wrangle her back.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he had so much power at one time he got destructive and maybe hurt own family members. Hence Jedi came and said, yep, he's got force, and they took him away. I don't know. But I think there could be something more into that. It might not just be what happened between May and OSHA. I think there could be something deeper. And if him and Chimere happen to be like estranged brothers, like he went before the other brother is born, or doesn't really recall having a younger brother, I don't know. That could come into play. Who knows?
Dude, yeah.
Something to think about.
Because like, what if Soul, taken away at a young age, was actually kind of like a heathen, and the Jedi were like, we can sense that he has so much potential. We're gonna take him before he becomes anything dark. So here he comes, but he always has that, that past, dwelling with him. But maybe we can see like his parents. Maybe the mom is pregnant, and it's with Chimere. But then maybe Soul's parents just create maybe dark, and that's what here comes Chimere. But he ends up going down that ravishing path and basically goes on
to know more about Soul than he lets on to, because when him and May were walking to Kanaka's and he kind of dropped that little hint, it was almost like he was gaslighting her. Like after she's like, have you ever seen him without his mask? He's like, come on, I haven't. Like, obviously, he's lying. But then he's like, what about that Jedi Master Soul? Like, he wasn't searching. This guy is very calculated. We, as all now, obviously know he's very calculated. Because one of my favorite parts is when he was facing off against Soul, when he turns back to Chimere for a second, he's like, hello. And like, you're kind of like, that's that quirky character. And as soon as he did that, he whips off his robe, throws it, and kind of blocks Saul, and immediately turns around, force grab, chokes May. I mean, again, it was just such great timing and delivery on the actor's part that really made
Yes.
it so convincingly like awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. He killed that role. That's crazy. I'm so excited to see what happens.
And this is the other guy that they have announced is Basil. Now, I think he's cool. He's very cool looking. I haven't really seen him do so much in the show, but I think he'll grow on to us a little bit more. But he's got that kind of Ewok appeal, in my
Yeah.
opinion. He's got that very cool, cutesy little creature with some Ewok appeal. And I have a feeling he's going to be the one that kind of saves the day, so to speak, with what's happening. Because we know we have the imposter
Yep.
getting on the ship with Soul. He's finds the other piece of Pip when Chimera falls from those bugs, those giant moths or whatever they were. I don't know. They pick up that top piece. He picks up that top piece of Pip, and being a tracker, he's probably trying, sniffing it, thinking, okay, that's not OSHA.
Right.
He's going to know that's not OSHA. So I have a feeling he's going to help save the day, or at least be the one character that kind of leads us down that path.
Yeah. Really cool. And also it's really cool how he's holding like Kelnaka's like cloth, like that piece of fabric that links him to Kelnaka.
Good call.
Kind of looks like bananas, but you know it's that robe.
Yep, it's that piece of cloth that it is. Sniff this.
Dude.
Now this one. That is a take my money.
Man, that my favorite holiday, my favorite Sith character, dude. Send me 5 of them. I'll pay for 5 of them. Like
I love doing customs for Halloween because they've never done a really cool Star Wars Halloween. And it's things like this, very simple. Give it a little Halloween play to it. I love it. And lights and Jedi Lex and Chris, as soon as they saw this, they instantly ding, 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 Pat. I am a sucker for the lights and sound. So hell yeah, I'm getting this one. I don't know what he's saying, if it's just breathing. I don't care. This just looks dope.
Is there for sure sound on it?
Oh yes. It says lights and sound. And
Man,
that's him when just out of box, but then like he's got like glow. Like
I
and
need
it
one
looks like
inbox
even
and
the
one
belt
out of
lights
box.
up a little bit too. I noticed.
Yeah.
With the little green lights on his belt. So, dude, I am so down for this because I had recently purchased one of the old Emperor Funko Pops that was like a loose figure sale at my Toy Vault, which is the collectible store I go to a lot. My favorite little store at the Warwick Mall. They've got if you're a Star Wars fanatic, dude, come down to Rhode Island. I will take you there. You'll go nuts. It's awesome. Like, dude, I found they're not obviously not vintage, but the vintage 3.75, 3.25. They had Bail Organa and Obi-Wan, the twins, each of them holding the little baby in their arms. Like 3.25 figure. Like, dude, that's dope.
Wow.
Yeah, they've got tons of fire, and they're so good to me. When I come in, they almost know what my collection is, what I have, and what I don't have at this point, because I can go down to one wall and be like, I've got everything you have here. It's some of those random ones they get in once in a while. And he'll be like, oh, we got this one in, and oh, we got this. So I really love the service I get there. They're really good.
That's dope.
Yeah, they know what I do. And every once in a while, like when I'm checking out, I share images with them. And my son, being on the spectrum, he really fixates on the few things he likes. So it's, his Ninja Turtles, or right now Sonic and Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
And they're so really, I think nothing makes me happier to go with my kids and watch someone else treat them like they want to be treated. Like my son wants, he's 15. He wants to, be treated as a mature kid that can go in a store and purchase something and,
Right.
be able to talk. And they're so nice and accommodating, and they always are looking for things for him. Oh, hey, we got this Ninja Turtle one in. So they're just great there. So I was happy. But yeah,
That's dope.
yeah. I am very excited because I picked up that old Emperor loose just to put a little pail in his hand, like a jack-o'-lantern in his hand. So when I saw this, I was like,
Yeah. It's kind of like you gave them the inspiration.
Hey, I try. I try. But last year for Halloween, I had a little bit of fun. I created like two specific images, but I did two customs. I did the I'll show you. I think you might have seen these on some other episodes. But I've done the all right. So the real easy one I did is I took Reaper from an Overwatch and made a Grand Inquisitor. And I really liked because the Reaper had this cool cowl that came with it. So I was able to kind of do the red in the inside, the black underneath.
It looks
You
like it
know,
fits it like just right.
it's like perfect, just perfect.
Wow.
And it just makes a cool looking Halloween style Inquisitor. Like
Yeah.
these are fun. Like, I don't mind these one offs, for the holiday. Just don't give me like all orange or all pink Pepto Bismol for Valentine's. Like, this is more the
Yeah.
direction they should go. And then, of course, right as that episode from Ahsoka was dropping, I based this custom off the comic book of the Death Trooper, but I end up doing my own custom little zombie style trooper.
That's tight.
You know what I mean? And I actually made another one of these for Christopher over at Seriously Star Wars. So I enjoy being able to
Yeah.
do a little custom pop for the holidays. They didn't do them in the past, but now it looks like they are starting to, and I welcome it. I just think it's cool. It's nice to have something, I think, during the different seasons. It's just
Oh
me.
yeah. Yeah, I gotta have one of these in box and one out of box.
Oh yeah. Now, do you decorate like with the animatronics and stuff? Because I know Home Depot sold out of the 8-foot Vader they had.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we have a blow up trick or treat Grogu. He's holding a sign, and then we have a blow up like Santa Grogu.
Nice.
But yeah, this is going upstairs in the once we start decorating and stuff. That's a piece right there.
Now we do have some things I know that have been arriving, things that were like pre-ordered, especially with a lot of the Funko stuff. So let's start it off. Now, I'm now just starting to also see these hit the store, but we just got so recently we've just received, if you had pre-ordered, you're finally getting them, but you're getting your Obi-Wan Kenobi retro series.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jar Jar Binks retro series. And I just look at that. I just love how these finishes came out. I
Yeah,
mean,
the retro series, they're something else. I just
in this
picked
one,
this up actually.
love this one,
Yep.
the Queen Amidala. Now, I never could get the blue box, so getting this one to me
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like a little bit of both. I kind of satisfied that need for the blue box one, but also my love for the retro series. I love the graphic novel comic book style. Um, I'm gonna have a whole dedicated display just for that series because I love that look. I really do.
So good.
And we got Darth Maul. Now these two were based off the blue boxes, the originals, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the blue box version. I think I have the black box, like the second run of these from the original, but they're great. And this one always reminds me of those when you were art class as a kid. You had that blackboard that you could scratch off, and it would leave the
Oh
white.
yeah.
It's kind of how
That
this
is
reminds me how they did that. It's just really cool, really really cool effect.
and Chris from Seriously Star Wars really loves this one, correct?
Well, he's not a retro fan that much, unfortunately.
That's what I thought. I thought he didn't like this one because I think
He
I was trolling him one stream. I was like, "Man, you love that. Come on, you love
he
this one,
loves Darth Maul. Don't get me wrong. That's like his one of his favorite characters, if not
right?"
the favorite character. Um, but he really he the only reason he would pick this up or add this is because it's Maul. But he really is not he and when the retro series first came out, didn't bite. When they did that Boba Fett reimagined, he said the only thing I like about it is your image of it, but I don't like it. I was like, really? He's like, I love your image. I just don't like that style. That's I was like, okay. I think they're cool. I
Yeah,
do
I
enjoy
love
them.
them.
This also showed up, which this is to me misleading. Okay, and I'll explain to you why. So I just got this in the mail. And I think that unboxing drops possibly tomorrow. But I did get this. Now, this is kind of interesting in the fact that I've already done 2 comic books, 1 and 2. One was Luke Skywalker, and then they did a Boba Fett '2.
Mm-hmm.
So we're already going back to the pool, right? The same pool, and we're doing another Boba Fett, but yet he's not #3, he's 04.
Yeah, what's 3?
I don't know. I did see a long time ago on the podcast we covered, someone had an Obi-Wan retro kind of comic cover. And I don't know if that was real, fake, whatever. Never saw it. I don't even recall what the number on it was. And just yesterday, we covered on the podcast that there is going to be another comic, but it's a Darth Vader one. So we're thinking that might be 3. This is 4. Maybe that one's 5, and the Kenobi never released, and that gets released later, and that's 3. No idea. But when I was leaving that Toy Vault collectible store, you know how you always are walking out, but you do that one look back over the shoulder just in case there's anything you might have missed. Literally, the rack right as I was walking out, they had a 3 1/4 figure, and it was this exact comic book and figure that they did in 3 1/4. I was like,
wow.
I was almost tempted to get that because I was like, that would look great paired next to each other in a display of some sort, but
Oh yeah.
I didn't do it. But maybe I'll go back and get it one day. I don't know. I try to stay in my lane. Otherwise, my collection will just be crazy, and my wife would kill me. My wife will smother me with a pillow, or choke me with a Funko Pop in the middle of the night. Shove one down my throat. You're gonna spend how much money on Funko?
Dude, I absolutely love these right here. Like this right here, bought with no hesitation. Like,
Right?
and this right here, I feel like these would look great side by side.
I do. And you know what? I haven't even taken mine out of their boxes either. I have mine right here. I keep them all in their box. So here's the original one I have, right?
Yeah. Twins.
And so,
oh my God, you have it too.
oh yeah. And I got this one. And I got the Luke one over there. I think my ring light's kind of shining in the reflection, so I apologize. But yeah, just love them.
I need that one.
And and the boxes just look of all the box art. I am not a box art fan for the most part. Like, okay, it's in the box just to keep it protected and all. But I love the comic book ones. They have the comic book covers on the back.
Right.
The only thing I was disappointed is when Funko released the latest wave for the retro series, they don't have the comic cover that inspired them on the back.
Right.
That was like, and I'm like, did they not do comics of the prequels? I could have sworn they did. So I didn't know what the thought was not having that, but whatever.
And yeah, that is weird too, because especially like I grew up with the prequel, so I would love to have, some of those, but there's also 2 holes on the top right and left corners that you're able to mount them. But I was actually thinking about when we were setting up the kind of nerd room down here, is I was going to take them out and actually hang them up and kind of give them that display piece. But it's there, the piece where the Funko is actually connected on the back, it kind of bulges out a little bit, so it doesn't really sit too flush with the wall. Because I also have the Luke Skywalker with R2D2 movie poster.
I have that one too, but that pop is bigger. Like the Luke is like 6-inch.
Yeah, it's
that glow in the dark, that Vader that we covered for Halloween is also, I forgot to mention, that's 6-inch.
Oh, dude, beautiful. That's going to be amazing.
It's a little bit bigger. So that is going to be kind of cool.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. So now we have what is coming into the stores. We've got some stuff. So again, having done a little on the hunt, a little toy hunt, when I went in to find that one Grogu playing with the frog, I did see this one. I was like, ooh, okay.
It's probably my favorite Grogu.
We're getting to see Din Grogu with that little armor. I love that. Love that. I also found they had Bo-Katan with that awesome acrylic base with the fire and the smoke and flames. And she's got the Darksaber.
Love it.
Love
Look, this right here, there's been a lot of Bo-Katans that have released, but this one right here is probably the best, in my opinion.
I like I think I have the one right before this one released with that same, it was a Target exclusive with their acrylic.
Yeah.
And I think she's got a blaster and a dark saber,
I think
or
her shield, right?
a shield and a blaster with this. It's cool. It's cool. I don't know. I think I have like 5 or 6 different Bo-Katans already. So this is another character that always looks great. I love it. And the one thing I noticed, check this out. Now you're going to go back to your collection and look at this. With any Bo-Katans, if you look and you kind of look at them chronologically, like where it started in Clone Wars and where they are now in the Mando, that helmet slowly over each rendition gets more and more distressed.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I have noticed that. I was like, wow, that's a small little detail that unless you're nerd alert like me, you would not pick up on that probably.
I think I have 3 Bo-Katans now. Yeah. I'd have to look at them and notice that. That's cool.
Yeah. But this is the one I end up picking up when I went to box lunches, that Grogu with the frog. Love it. It's, you know what it is? This is the image right there. I mean, it's got the whole story right in a pop. It's a little scene from the very end of that finale before he got that kind of Oculus old school clothes on the frame. So I'm excited for this. This is going to be a cool one. Very excited to grab an image of this one very soon. And
yeah, that looks good.
this. Now this one, Grogu Force Barrier. We all talked about this on prior episodes. I think you were even on one when we were talking about like what would your top 5 from this Mandalorian. This is one we all said we'd love to have it.
So beautiful.
How would you create it? Like, how would you get your acrylic to do the flame? And like, this was a great way to do it. I wouldn't have thought of it. I probably had just had little flames coming up and around, but the way they did this, so it's kind of like a bubble.
Yeah.
The back end, dude, this looks so much better in person than these pictures are doing justice.
Oh yeah.
So much
yeah.
Like when you see them like, kneeling and like one knee down, and Grogu is, tiny and he's scale and he's like doing his little thing. It looks really cool. So and this one I just saw drop in the show, so I was kind of at the store, so I was kind of surprised.
Yeah. Another thing too, I like the detail, like Mando's down on his knees, Bo-Katan is hitting the Tebow and just taking one knee, and Grogu is obviously doing the show, but you see Bo-Katan kind of looking down like, oh God, he's doing that. But then Mando's just looking straight forward like, yeah, he does that.
Oh yeah, he can handle that.
Yeah, he does this a time or two.
That's my boy. It's my boy, Blue.
I love it, dude. This is awesome.
Yeah, dude. This one, honestly, God, this is a great movie moment. And I remember back when that finale came, I was really excited to just on the hype of it. And so I grabbed the Grogu image with one of my Grogus where he's kind of using the Force, but I literally shot it from behind and just had nothing but flame and embers,
Nice.
in front of him. So it kind of gave that feeling that he was doing that wall. But yeah, dude, I'm very, very excited to see this one. That to me was like that was just dope. But I mean, that was a lot that we just went over for the month of June. A lot. And
it was kind of a light month too, and it was still, there's a lot of bangers that came out.
Pretty heavy. And I don't think there's anything on there that you're gonna hear anyone complaining about or pissing and moaning that it isn't this and they're all great. I think the only thing we hear complaints about is fans like us, especially me, like wanting more. Like, kind of like I felt like as soon as I don't know why they didn't do like a Mando Monday or Tano, Ahsoka Tano Tuesday, where they did the other shows where you had like toy releases on that certain day. Like, so
yeah,
as the episode releases, so does the product and toys and swag behind it. I'm really surprised with the Acolyte they did not do that. But with that said, I do think we're going to be getting a Stranger, the Chimera, whether he's revealed, unrevealed. I want them both. Like I want him with the helmet, and I want one without the helmet. But if you can release the Smilo Ren first, the teethy version, I'd love that.
Dude,
That's
how cool would that be? Is if we got the Stranger pop, and then the chase of it is him without the same knight, but without his helmet or
with
with
the
the two lightsabers. Man, come on.
that's what I picked as one of the images for our top 5 for that episode was him unmasked, 2 blades like that, like the short and the long one.
Dude, I
That was
I
just that episode was just nasty. Like
it was so
there
good.
was it was sick. And I know there's a lot of content creators doing videos on it and everything right now. Hey Marina. Hello there.
Hello.
JT, do they have a Kanan fire bubble pop?
That'd be
Oh
tight.
my goodness, JT. They don't. They don't. But you've given me some inspiration. They don't. Hold on one day, my friend. You just wait. Oh my goodness. That just gave me a really cool idea when he said that. All right. I'll have to put something to work here.
Dude, what you should do is buy 2 of the Grogu Force Barriers. Slide Kanan in there somehow, some way. Probably won't fit since they're kneeled down. That'd be kind of tight. You could take one and make basically a 2-in-1. But then again, it's kind of not how Kanan's kind of fireball came at them. He used kind of like it was like a shield wall.
But right, he shielded it as the bubble, right? Contained it. So you just
Flip it
turn
around.
that to the backside and you have Kanan, and you throw all your light from the back end, like where Grogu and Mando and Bo-Katan would be. You put your light there to come at it that way. So now you're not going to get the fireball of light, and then you put Kanan on the other side of that. That light is going to actually pass through, hit him. So it's going to do a 2. You'll see.
All right.
Stay tuned, JT. Thank you, brother, because that just inspired me, and this is why I love doing these things. Nice, he's laughing. Yeah, that's a great idea. Now I'm like, shit, I might have to do that. That's cool. That's a great
Yeah,
idea.
that would be clean.
That would be tight. But the episode was dope. I know a lot of channels are comparing it to, like, is it better? Because there was the tease that we heard as it was releasing that there's going to be an episode of a lightsaber battle, and they really went for it to see if they could top Phantom Menace. And we got a lot of people like, no effing way could that happen. Brandon, what was your thought on it?
I mean, cool. I mean, everything has to compare to anything from the past, but why does there have to be a better scene? It's all about time. I know people that think the Praetorian battle from The Last Jedi, that's the best lightsaber sequence ever in Star Wars. Cool. But you cannot take away from what we saw the other night. That was something else. The movement, the speed, and you can tell a couple of shots were sped up, on effects. But
Yes.
come on, dude, like go into it with an open mind. Understand that maybe sometimes the Jedi fight very fast. We don't know Chimere's full power yet, but
And when
Jackie
we see
going
it in the
ham.
movie, yeah, and
Come
when we
on.
see it in the movie, you only get like clip, cut, back to the clip, cut away, back to it. But let's put it to you get 15 minutes tops in a film. That
Mhm.
was the whole episode. The episodes were 35, 40 minutes. Predominantly up until the last 10, it was all this continued fight. Like it just had more and more and more stages. Like the melee in the beginning, that was just it was like cannon fodder. It was like, Star Trek with red shirts. All these Jedi, no name Jedi, you're all dead.
Yeah,
You're
you're
like,
cooked.
we are gonna wipe the forest with you. And god damn, he did it. Like there were so many little things. Like I remember like literally watching it with my wife and my daughter. I stopped and rewound immediately as soon as he did the force pull and double impaled the 2 Jedi, and then done the backswing. And again, it was really great because then you have the tree covering where you couldn't see it. But when he swung around, he decapitated him. Like that was just, I was like, holy shit, that was
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah.
Loved it. And then it continued to Jackie which there's no way I thought she was going down. No
No.
way. Especially if she had that long, as they were fighting, Soul and Chimera were fighting, it would cut to Jackie and May fighting. So after she survived that, you think I'm not thinking nothing's happening to Jackie. Nothing. And if
Right.
anything, Soul was gonna save her before something happened. No. Like she got it bad. She got like the little triangle of saber, man.
Little Bermuda Triangle action.
Yeah, and then, I thought was funny is they definitely did that because it's like, well, how did Qui-Gon survive and Sabine did? They're like, yeah, she's not surviving 3 puncture wounds. She doesn't have 2 hearts or different lungs or whatever, like the Inquisitor. The Grand Inquisitor. Like, boom, 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 brutal. Then the conversation after, he's like, Jackie's. Oh, that was its name. You brought her here, like. Dude, just cold.
Yeah.
Just absolutely cold.
I remember being like, this dude's an ass. Yeah. That was, man, it makes you want to just watch it again, and I've already seen it
running up at the end.
I love, and yes, that sequence is nuts. Him with the helmet just running and kind of the jumps and then like deflects. And it's just like, oh my God, here comes Yord, like, especially at the beginning, he was able to withstand, and he kind of got the Obi-Wan like leg cut like he got from Dooku. So I was like, oh, okay, he'll be all right. But nah, that was, crazy. And the, killing a Jedi without a weapon thing,
Exactly. I was going to say, he showed May how it can be done. Like, boom, like that.
And that was the thing too, is I feel like when he threw him off, he was just like, yeah, this is cake.
Discarded him like garbage.
Yeah, nuts.
Like he was nothing. That was very brutal, very cold. And I also love the whole cortosis in the helmet and stuff, headbutting, taking the gauntlet. And that scene, had you not had what was going on earlier in that episode when he was fighting the other melee of Jedi going after him, it wouldn't have made as much sense when Yord went after him, because I watched it so many times because I just thought that scene was absolutely brutal, savage. And I watched it where he grabs the helmet, Yord, right? Force grabs it, knowing he's watched them fight. He knows that thing shorts out the lightsabers. So when he swings his gets blocked with the gauntlet. It goes off. When Chimera goes to hit him, he thrusts the helmet right at Chimera and his lightsaber, which affects Chimera's.
Yep.
Crazy thing is, while they're in that armbar lock, and they're like, kind of like, it's you, surprise, kind of thing. You notice Chimera still has a saber ready for that thing just to reignite anytime and just boom right through his head. Right. So he's sitting there holding him, and he just, I think, honestly, just by the demeanor of the character, just got tired of it. Just like, I'm not even, boom, flipped him around. You heard his arm snap. Yord yells, crack, breaks the neck, tosses him like a rag doll. Brutal. And I was like, for a second, I'm like that was Disney? Like they allowed for that? That was awesome. Yeah. And to me, if you could do that, you could do a Knights of Ren show. You could do a Darth Vader show. Because I thought this episode particularly had a lot of horror themed. Like I was mentioning to Chris and others that, that kind of head tilt, very Michael Myers,
dude,
right? Gets shot with the taser and just slowly turns and just walks at them.
Yeah,
because at other points you see him running. You see him running towards Jackie. We're catching her from behind and stuff like that, and floating down. Behind Osha, an episode at the end of episode 4. Like he's got some really cool power, but he just like very, very, very similar to very horror Mike Myers little kind of tropes to there. I thought it was well done. Well,
it's a good way that they're leaning into this, because that everyone wants the R-rated Disney. People are saying Dave Filoni is actually trying to get it going, but look, Dave has this thing with Ahsoka going on. He's basically the co-pilot for
right now.
Yeah, like we see it right now, and especially if Abeloth is actually coming to Ahsoka season 2, we got plenty of horror. So I'm loving this. It's different. It's really different.
Well, there's that episode that I thought was I thought it was in Rebels. I don't think it was Clone Wars. It was in Rebels where they had that evil droid, and it had very the music,
Yes.
the soundtracking to it, and the cuts and the tropes were very horror filmed, and it kind of put you on the edge of your seat.
Right.
That was well done. That was so well done, and that was like a tidbit. It wasn't like a major episode that had like an arc that you needed, but dude, it was so poignant that a lot of people still recall it. Like when you bring it, because I can't remember the name of it, but most people are like, "Oh yeah, I do remember that." That
Yeah.
they did that more Star Wars, because one of the opening scenes in the first season of the Mando had that where he's going to go after the client to get the kid, to get the child, to get Grogu, and he's going through, and you got the stormtroopers, the lasers, and the lights and flashlight scopes going through those dark, corridors and storage areas. It kind of had that kind of vibe to it. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's something there that really works in the Star Wars universe. I'd like to see them expand upon. So,
yeah. Would be
and I
tight.
know Vader's a tough character, because in any of those interviews you've heard behind the scenes or the gallery, they've always
Yeah.
said, like, once you bring Vader, it's hard to have him exit and you not kind of fall off what you're already watching. I get that. He's so iconic. But you could do a show where you're doing Knights of Ren or Inquisitors or whatever, and you could do something like that. Like, I honestly think this show is talking about the original dyad that Palpatine referenced in Rise of Skywalker. I think we're learning about other witches, other kind of Night Sisters, and we've seen a little bit of that. Obviously Night Sisters in Clone Wars and in Rebels, and in Ahsoka. We've seen in Tales of the Empire, even though there's the Night Sisters, there's those other sisters, the blue ones that were more Force using power, that lived in
Yeah.
the foothills. So we've had these witches kind of already introduced. But what's interesting about this fact, why was this faction kind of persecuted or hunted down, that they went in exile and found their own place? So there's something more to them. And there's a lot of cool stuff that you could do and make this spin off to other things that don't necessarily have to always connect.
Right.
But it'd be neat just to see where they go. Like if Chimere becomes the first Ren or one of the first Knights of Ren or something like that, that'd be cool.
It'd be
That'd be
so
cool.
cool. That's what I want.
I'm down for either way, but I'll be honest. He really surprised me to come out to be like definitely one of the biggest badasses I've seen in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, I love Maul and I love Vader, but this dude was pretty badass. Like,
The potential is up there.
yeah, he could be really cool. Because unfortunately, Darth Maul, we were like, whoa, killed. And then we had and for those fans that never watched Clone Wars and stuff like that, and we were kind of surprised when they saw him make that cameo in Solo.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what I mean? And then to see him go all the way through and have him really kind of in Clone Wars with that great Obi-Wan scene. You have the, Ahsoka letting them out. There's so many, or actually that was in Rebels when Maul and him meet. So there's a lot of great pieces with that story that we've gotten to see. So let's see somebody else. Like, what happens with them,
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Absolutely.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
See, I want the Ren to be kind of fully explored and talked about. And I think this we get Kylo Ren in the sequel trilogy, and I feel like the character is just kind of shown and then kind of taken out, just kind of like you mentioned with Maul, same way. But we do get that expansion, and we do know that there's comics that explore how Kylo adapted the name of Kylo Ren. So there's a lot to put in place, but that's kind of what I want. I feel like with each trilogy, you get the ups and you get the downs. And I just feel like it's just more of a trend to not like something these days. But because with a lot of the banter, it seems like it's forced. It's not like oh, I didn't like this because the ceiling was gray. And it's like, okay, cool. That's something I guess you can get over. But when it's just, oh, this is bad writing, and it's okay. All right, I want to see you write a story. And it's not even the comparison between this person and Leslie Headland, or even in decision making like Kathleen Kennedy. Cool. Like let me hear you actually give me something to think about, that that doesn't make you mad or something that makes you happy. But dude, I just want them to just touch base with the sequels because I feel like it can just add so much lineage. We're already taking that step out from the Skywalker, like that timeline, episode 1 to 6 and everything in between. But now we're 100 years back
Show me something
exploring
new.
dark side. As like the sequels, it is something new. We get to see older characters, Han, Leia, Chewbacca, but it's a different realm and you feel that it's different. But imagine making this connection from all of these years during the sequel trilogy and then even going into the Knights of Ren. Let's see how that started and how they were always behind the shadows from episode 1 to 3 to episode 5.
No one even knew that they were. That would be really cool. That would be
And there's like
really cool.
there's a line and a lineage. It's Sith, but it's not Sith. It's like it's kind
He
of just
broke
like
off. He wants to be free of his own master.
yeah. That's imagine seeing a free. We see the Dooku's, the Qui-Gon Jinns, Quinlan Voss, I guess. We can see those characters off on their own, trying to they're still, obeying the Force and letting whatever happens happen, but it's not a controlled feeling. Maybe Chimera is like, nah, let me go do this. Because, a lot of Star Wars, they want to have it compared to, real examples in our lives today. There's people who want to go off and do their own thing. They don't want to, I don't know, like it's really not that deep, but like take the college route. They don't want to go that way. They want to go over here and get some like on hand experience and then create something for themselves without doing all the little steps. Maybe Chimera can break off, create the Ren. He has no name. Maybe something inspires him to create Ren, and here it is. Here's the story.
It'll be interesting. And is Chimera even his real name, or is that just a
like a little stage name
or personality? Yeah, like otherwise known as, who knows? I don't know. But I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I sure hope, we saw, we're getting some good Funko. I hope Lego starts to see some of this Acolyte filtering in because there'll be plenty to do.
I haven't even really thought of the Acolyte with Legos. They definitely will. Andor got a set. They only got one, but they got a set. So the Acolyte, what can we get?
I think we're gonna have to have that planet from Kanaka as a little Dio set, and you could have all your expendable Jedi as a minifig polybag set.
Buy this set. Yeah.
The Expendables.
Get all the red shirt Jedis.
Yes. And then you could have like, the stranger helmet, obviously his helmet could come off, reveals Chimera, I don't know. They can do a lot. They can do some really cool stuff.
Lego, if you hear this, you know where you found it.
Yeah. Imagine, dude, what would be cool is they did the trees and that you could literally chop them in half and put some orange Lego glow, across that. That would be dope.
That would be dope.
But all right, I know we've gone on long enough talking about all things Star Wars, both Lego, Funko. We talked a little bit about the Acolyte. And again, Brandon, I just want to say over the last few weeks, 4 or 5 weeks of the Acolyte, I appreciate seeing folks like you, Jimmy from Explore the Force, keeping it positive, Jedi Lex. And if you are a shill, I want to come chill.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I'm going to say.
Chill.
If you're a shill, I'm ready to chill because I haven't seen dime one from Disney Lucasfilm, but if you guys want to call me a shill because I enjoy something, so be it. But here's the thing. You probably also, if you're easy to make those comments, and I'm not saying all of them are of this age group, but a lot of them are also of the age group like my kids, where they don't understand there wasn't on demand, let alone there wasn't like more Star. It was just the 3 and that was it. So everything we get, not that I love it all, but I love it. I love more Star Wars. So thank you for keeping it positive, because I've been saying the more we bag and the more we're toxic, it's not just what I was pointing out the other day is that it doesn't just affect our opinions of something. What it does is if you're a director and you're like, hey, you're getting Disney Lucasfilms approaching you, I don't know if as much as it would be a dream to do that, I'd be like, I don't know. I don't want to get as much flack as Leslie Headland had to deal with,
Oh God,
or
dude.
this director that did the Book of Boba Fett. Like, I don't want to deal with that, like
Yeah.
flack. I just want to go in and create my universe and a story that I think would be great for me and other fans. At the same point, the actors, they're just giving, like, no one really complained about what Harrison Ford and Luke and Leia were saying in the original, and that was gobbledygook, a lot of it, right? They always said you can read it, you can barely say it, but that was what was written, so you went with it, right? So I just find it funny how we've come so far to just pan it, because if we keep panning it as a fandom, things are going to happen that are going to not be good for any fan.
Right.
You're going to get less Star Wars produced. You're going to have less series, less movies, less anything, because people, actors, directors, anyone working on it, the digital artists, they're not going to spend hundreds and hours doing these effects for a show that gets panned, and because again, they're working on their portfolio to get to that next level, right?
Exactly.
So why would anyone want to join ILM to do those Star Wars projects? I'd rather just do this and stick with the one or two effects I got to do for the Abyss or Terminator. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
so that's what I want to point out to the fandom too, is that, we're all they're fans, they're actors, they're writers, they're directors. They're trying to deliver a good story. Could I deliver a better story? I don't know. I could come with some cool ideas. And me being me, film guy, and loving that, and camera guy, I think I know how I would stage, like literally frame by frame things to tell a story. But I don't have the experience that half these people do.
Oh
But
yeah.
you put me in the volume with Dave, Deborah Chow, any of those people, Bryce Dallas Howard, I will be clinging to them like a flight of shit just to learn everything I could, because I would love to do. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Right.
I would do it in a heartbeat. Like, I still to this day every month look at ILM to see if there's a gig out there that, with my commercial photography skill set, would fit in there perfectly. I haven't seen anything yet, but dude, the first time I do, resume's going.
Yeah.
I could be in a conference call. If I see it come up, I'm dropping the conference call and doing it, dude. Like, that would be, and my wife knows that if dream came true, that would be it. That would be dream come true. Because dream come true, one was going to work and get a gig at Hasbro, in which I had a contract and worked there for a short time. I just don't want to do contract work. I want to be somewhere I can hang my hat, call that my company, call that my job, be excited to go to work. Dude, let me tell you, my days at Hasbro were some of the most exciting days for me personally, to wake up and go to a job. I didn't feel like I was working. I enjoyed my coworkers. I enjoyed the gig itself. Unfortunately, it was contracts end, and certain things happen too that cause contracts to end faster. Like, people don't understand. Like, the reason a lot of people get laid off, you get like incidents like Sandy Hook, and a company like Hasbro might have invested a lot of money in the Nerf, but who's going to buy Nerf guns after a tragedy like that?
That's a good point.
I mean? So people don't think about how that one incident can affect you down in the toy world. But that's really at one point what happened, So it's kind of neat to see how that plays out. But you don't want to be the person whose life it affects either, But dude, I'd love to do like a Lucasfilm thing. So if they're out there, them or Funko, those are the two. Those are my two. Those are my two that I would love. Because I look at Lucasfilm and Disney as all the same anymore. Either of those, if I retire and I had to get a job to retire, dude, I would love to be the dude at Savvy's workshop. Could you imagine me doing that, like helping kids build lightsabers, and adults like you and I be like, "What's up, bro? I got you. Don't worry, we're gonna have a great time."
Yeah.
It would be awesome. Amy's like, my wife's like, "Are you serious?" I said, "Honey, if I died while giving a workshop at Savi's, I wouldn't care. I'd die happy man." She's like, "Really?" I said, "I would love to see the glimmer and the excitement in the kids' eyes. Like, when I see it, and I wish my kids were bigger Star Wars fans. But like my son for Toy Story loves Buzz Lightyear. As soon as he sees Buzz and you see that excite, you're gonna see this, Brandon. You're gonna see this. When you see that excitement and that wonderment in your own child's eyes, dude, you will be chimera to make it happen again.
Right.
You will slay 8 Jedi to make that experience happen again for them. Trust me,
Right.
you'll learn. You will
Yeah,
learn.
that's
But
dope.
it's always that moment, and that's one of those things that Disney does well. Lucasfilm, in its storytelling, be able to grasp an adult and a child and pull them into the same universe with the same story and still appeal to both. Perfect.
Yep.
And I think Disney's always done that, especially with their animation, very well. Like, the Inside Out 2,
Yeah.
Toy Story, they've always hit home. I know my wife took the kids to go see the Inside Out 2, and same thing with that. Like she's crying. Kids like, you cried? So that was very sad. But that's what I love about Disney and Lucasfilm, pulling those heartstrings, and you get this just great content that we get in Star Wars universe. So again, thank you for being with me today, having our monthly wrap up on Bricks and Pops. I
course.
appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you always staying positive and definitely sharing the knowledge on all thing Lego and Funko with me, dude. It is a lot of
Yes.
fun.
That's
It is
what
a lot of fun.
as JT calls it, it's the sickness. It's behind me, it's behind you. And what better yet than to give Disney money instead of Disney giving us money? Because it's called a reverse shilling. What
I
you do
guess
is you give them money, and now you just have
we're
cool
paying,
stuff to
we're
look.
paying, we're shoving out shillings, not getting shilling.
Yeah. But hell yeah, man. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. And if you like to leave comments to us shills, please do that down below. We'd appreciate that. Because that's the only thing that's going to compensate for the lack of zeros at the end of the checks that we get.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. I do appreciate you coming on with me again. This is always fun. And until next
Always.
month, folks,